I seem to be giving a running commentary of my life at the moment, the signs I receive, and there's a reason for it. And it's leading by example, really, and showing my connection to spirit, to source, and then for people to align with their connection themselves. I just wanted to show an example of the impact spirit has on my life, how serious I take it, and how much faith I have in the guidance. So I had a situation this weekend. I've had a few situations recently. I've had to keep traveling to my hometown to be with my mum, and she's 100 miles away. That's a round trip, 200 miles. It costs a lot in fuel. It's just a very time consuming. She doesn't like me just staying a day. She'd rather get me there for a week or even 2 weeks. It gets mental, and it's like I can't just keep putting everything on hold like this. And it's been repetitive for a while here. Like I just feel like I'm forever going back and forth. And I was like, this is just driving me crazy because it doesn't make much sense. So I think back in August, I had a crown put on, a root canal. And I think like back in October, it bloody fell out. And I was trying to figure the time I could do this to sort it out. I had my daughter for the Halloween, so half term holidays for Halloween. And then I've had a few other instances, like I've had my car needed sorting. I've had to have new steering rods put in with alignment. I've had to have there's a recall on the airbags. I've had to have the airbags done. I've had a load of chips on the windscreen, so I've had to get the windscreen repaired. There's all sorts of things, plus anything else that I'm probably forgetting at the moment. So I'm trying to get things sorted. And like for instance, when I was down there last weekend, I don't even know how long I've been home. I've been home maybe a week. Do you know what I mean? It just gets crazy. So when I was there, I phoned and said, "Look, is anyone can get an appointment for this tooth?" And they could only give me Monday. And I thought, well, I'm not waiting all week. I'm not staying. I hate feeling confined. I like to do my videos, for instance. When I was ever there, I used to record in the car, but I like to use my microphone, and I refuse to lower the quality. So I find myself, if I feel I've got to do something, I feel quite anxious because it's like I just want to be free to do it. So I need to get home. So I drove all the way home knowing I got this appointment, but then it's like I just don't. For some reason, I just don't think it's good to go back just yet. And then weirdly enough, my sister, who I've got a bit of a problem with after a holiday I had, I spoke publicly about it, and I'm not a fake person. I don't play nice. If I don't like someone, I make it clear, and it's like just leave me alone. And that's the boundary. Other people, unfortunately, they don't like to do that. So I have no doubt they would try to talk, and it's like I don't want that shit. So anyway, because it doesn't serve you, when you see people's true colours, there's no much convincing is going to change me off what I already know. It's just it is what it is. So the plan really was they was coming down, and when they leave, then I would leave to go down there myself and get this sorted on Monday. But I say I've been having this weird feeling not to, and there's other things coming together. I feel, I've done readings on that, a love interest potentially coming forward at some point, and that'd be really nice. And then I'm getting a huge nudge from spirit to, I think, sort of like make progress with some of my projects. And initially, I didn't really understand why. I thought, why is the urgency? I wasn't intending until spring. But the reality is, our life can change in an instant. Maybe it's the fact that someone is potentially coming, and it would be good to have those sort of things tied up, so you haven't got to do those things while they're with you. You've took care of it. I don't know. I mean, I started thinking that after the fact. It's kind of weird. So anyway, I don't want to go too far one way or the other here. I'm not going to shuffle now because I've already shuffled. I'm not here again. I'm not here to prove anything to anyone. I don't give a shit about things like that. I see tarot readers do that all the time, where they get comments saying, "Oh, I didn't see you shuffle." Who gives a shit? You either trust someone or you don't trust someone. I'm not here to sort of like pander. Most of the time, nearly every other video, I'll shuffle because that's just how my content is. But if I've already shuffled, it's like if you don't trust me, don't trust me. It makes no difference to my day. Um, so I asked Spirit, and I've asked twice. So yesterday I asked, last night I said, should I travel to my mum's on Sunday? And it was no. I said, oh, well, that's okay. Do I need to travel in the morning on Monday for the appointment? Because the appointment's like, quite early. So I said, should I travel Monday? And it was still no. And I said, should I stay home? And it was a clear yes. I can't remember the exact cards now. I did take photos, but I can't remember because I've done a few since. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm not going anywhere. And I even said to my mum, if I don't hear anything by like 2 p.m., I'm not messing about because I'm not going to. It's 2 hour drive and all that. I'm not messing about all evening here. Um, but it wasn't really about that. It was more the fact that was just yet another marker. So the next day, today, I've just asked, like in the middle of the day, should I travel? And again, it was no. Should I travel Monday? No. And then I was like, should I stay home? And it was like the sun card come out, which is a blatant yes. It's like, yes, that's exactly where they want me to be. So forget the fact that my tooth still needs to have the crown refitted. It's kind of like that isn't the priority right now. It seems to be whatever I'm doing in this present moment is a priority. So I feel a bit frustrated because I know it needs to be taken care of. At the meantime, I'm aware that there's things to take care of. But the thing is, for my daughter's Christmas, I've had to get a Shein order. I don't normally order from Shein, but she wanted something that's coming to my home address, so I have to be home anyway. So I'm like, this is crap. I'd have to drive all the way there and literally have a turnaround within a day or two and come straight back again. It's just like, this is just mad, isn't it? So anyway, so Spirit's saying stay home. So just now I've just asked the question, like, why does Spirit want me to stay home and not travel? And I got the priestess. I think it's the priestess, or the high priestess in my tarot. I'm not sure what that. I don't know if it's high priestess in normal tarot. I think it is. Anyway, so I stood there just holding the card for a little bit, trying to make sense of it. Like, what are you trying to tell me? Straight away when I see that card, I naturally just think intuition and inner knowing, and I'm thinking, I already have a feeling towards things. They want me to focus. I see that more as the Hierophant is, for instance, is the spiritual teacher. The High Priestess means you still got things to learn, but you're very much in tune with spirit source. And considering the cards I had previously about not traveling, literally the cards that said not traveling were the deception cards. It was sneaky, jealousy, and these other things. And that's the ones I'm trying to avoid. I just don't want to be in their company. And that was weird, isn't it? That's the cards that were coming out, and yet to stay was the Sun. So then we get the High Priestess, and it's like my vibration's that high. They don't want me around low vibrational people. And because it's pointing towards intuition, like I just said before, I feel like there's projects they want me to focus on. Even if it's me just jumping on the camera, for instance, to do the videos, I can't do that at my mum's. And it may be they just need to position me here for now because there's things they need from me. And it could be any of those reasons. But obviously they have a purpose for me in this immediate time period. So I found it quite remarkable. It's just a High Priestess. I shuffled a few more times, nothing else come out. It was literally just the one card. And I thought, okay. It's not making a lot of sense to me because of the fact that it was just a road trip pretty much and then do it. It would have been exhausting, frustrating. And I think this is all the points. Is my mum would have wanted to try, she does this all the time. It's like, I go, right, I'm going to have to go home tomorrow or I'm going home today. And she's like, but if you stayed, we could have done this, or we could have gone to the shop and got that. Could have done anything to try and keep me in place. Does it all the time. It's nice though, because it's nice to feel loved and appreciated, and I don't think she really does that with many other people. With me, she just never wants me to leave. It's crazy. So on that side, it's nice, but then it's kind of like you feel guilty for going, and then it's like it becomes that you end up staying a day or two longer just to because you don't want to leave with regrets. I think time is short, and the people we love, you want to spend time with. But I've been there so often now. It's like I do realize I need to be home and creative, and I think that's really what the High Priestess is really pointing towards. It's kind of like you've got things to be doing that we need from you, and we need you in a place where you can focus. Because I'm on my own, I can really truly focus in on my energy. I know instinctively what I need to do at a given moment. I spoke before about a feeling, an urge to start focusing on my book projects, even though my plan was the spring, and I'm fighting against it because when you've done these projects enough times, you know the can of worms it opens up. As soon as I start working on them projects, that's going to be grind. It's going to be a grind because it's going to be that now I'm focused to get it done, and I've got to work my ass off in a period of like in the period of the year when I don't want to. So I'm fighting it. But if in the end that's what I need to do, I will do it. So we'll see. But I know I'm doing a few videos lately, and I just wonder whether it's going to be in that vein. But yeah, anyway, I know this is probably boring for a lot of people that don't get it, but it's just I'm just leaving a trail. This isn't really for people today. It's people that will see my progress in the future. There'll be a curiosity, and maybe this video will come up on their For You page in 6 months, in a year, whenever it is, and it'll make sense in relation to where I've got to later. And I just want to show people that if you're ever confused or you're not sure whether you should do something, if you're at a high vibrational enough that you can connect to spirit source and you can use divination like tarot cards, you'll literally be able to reach out and ask them, like, look, because they're always for your highest good. So it's for your best interests. Take the ego away from it, which is where we get confused because our ego's telling us one thing, we're feeling an urge to do another. Well, I'm not sure which is which. And then, okay, spirit, what do you need me to do? Should I do this? No. Should I do that? No. Should I do this? Yes. Why is that? And then they'll explain it, and it's up to you to decipher the message, of course. But it's nice to be able to have that connection. Otherwise, it's not that you'd necessarily do something wrong, but you would do something that maybe not in your best interests. It will set you back. So, like, for instance, I could have done none of these cards, just said, sod it, I'm going to have to go and get this sorted out. I could have traveled. My mum could have kept me there for the best part of a week. I may have bumped into people I don't want to bump into. Now we've got an issue. I don't mind confrontation, but at the same time, if it's avoidable, what's the point? You know, I'm getting past the stage of my life where I feel I've got to teach people lessons. You know, I don't need to do something to prove something. So I don't really care about lording over anyone or saying, "Oh, I'm smarter than you. I see things better than you," or you know, you've got issues you need to heal. It's like it's not for me to point it out all the time. You know, I've already had the argument. It's like just leave it be now. I'm done. I've drawn a line. You know, if I bump into anyone sort of at my mum's home, it's like people need to understand I'm not there for them, am I? If I only bump into someone at my mum's home, it's because I've gone to meet my mum. I've gone to spend time with her. You know, it's not for me to say someone can't visit. I don't have that control or power. But there's no point of people acting like all of a sudden, oh, hey. It's like, mate, you don't come visit me. I don't come visit you. Let's just keep it where it is. Have fun. You know, I'll keep myself to one side. You enjoy your time. No judgment on my part. Just get on with it and leave it be there. That's where I am on my journey. You know, I don't like that feeling trapped and you've got to pretend to be nice to people. It's like, what's the point of that shit? Let's just be for real. You know, I ain't got time for you anymore. Magician, the creator of your own reality. Yeah, that's exactly it. King of Cups. Weirdly enough, on the back of the deck to the one when I had the High Priestess, when I turn it over, I had a look at the back of the deck. It was King of Cups, but it weren't specifically relevant. I was more focused on the card I pulled, which was the High Priestess. But it's weird to do another shuffle, get the Magician, the creator of your reality, but then also have the King of Cups yet again. That is exactly. It's like master of your emotions. Um, I'd, I'd say master of your emotions. I've got to argue that maybe it's a bit too master. If you look at this, I don't know if you're going to see the face. The focus will go out. He's very stern faced, and I think that's what he's pointing to. It's like if it was the Queen, you'd say they're more understanding, more emotional, you know. But the King is very, very stoic, and that's kind of where I'm at. And that's where I am with certain people in my life. You know, it is the case of that. Not everybody gets the jovial side. It depends how you treat me as to how I treat people, but also it depends on their energy. You don't have to treat me a bad way for me to know you're a dipshit. If you're a dipshit, you know, I can read through people like a book. And what I've learned is my first instincts are usually right. And I'd say learn it the hard way, but I've just learned it through life. Sometimes I give people the benefit of the doubt because I think it's rude to judge people, but in the end, they just prove my initial instincts correct. So now I don't really second guess it. If I have a real strong nudge that person's not my sort of person, they don't match my vibe, then I already know that. There's no point playing. It's just like we best just stay away from each other. That's just life. Um, But yeah, I have so much faith in spirit that literally it will derail any plans I had in place. My mum's, because we're in the UK, we have a Sunday roast, a bit like Thanksgiving, I think, in America, but we have that regularly. When I live on my own, I don't really do it so much. I don't really take care of myself food wise very well because I just can't be asked. It's just like, I think when you're providing for other people, you actually put an effort in. When you're on your own, it's like it becomes an afterthought, and all of a sudden the day gets away and you can't even be asked to cook, and it just becomes like, oh, what can I put together? It's really crap, in all honesty. So she's like, oh, I'll just put a chicken in. Again, a way to try and entice me down. I'm like, I still ain't coming, you know, it's still a 2 hour drive. And she knows my spiritual journey. So I'm like, look, I've got signs not to travel. I don't know why, but the sign is there. And then since then, I've pulled that High Priestess. So, all right. Weirdly enough, I thought this. Do you know what I said about the Hierophant is the spiritual teacher? And the High Priestess is you're still learning and you've got your intuition and things. But I was thinking, I've already had so many signs in the past about I'm a leader. The students become the teacher. I am leading by example now, and that's really what my content's about. Really trying to guide people in a positive way and allow them to think and feel for themselves. But it's weird that then I pull these cards. I'm shuffling away, You got I got 70 pentacles, which is you've been working hard. You're waiting for your work to bloom. So there's a little bit of frustration, but really it's a case of you've put the work in now, and it's just you're just waiting to yield the results. That's interesting. Then all of a sudden I've got. Bear in mind we had the high priestess. Now we've got the high priest, and the high priest in this deck, that is the equivalent of the hierophant in the tarot. So now I've got things to learn at the moment, because you're always on a learning. Even if you was the master or something, there's always something new to learn. So there's a level of intuition needed. But at the moment, it seems to me they're pointing towards the fact that you're still waiting for things to come in, but I am a spiritual teacher. I've come a long way. And it says strength. That's nice. And I've noticed it in my own content. I was talking to my mum. She obviously doesn't have, wouldn't say obviously, but she doesn't have social media. She doesn't know what I do. She only knows about my books, really. But I'm like, to be honest, I think the videos are going to help people in the future. And the ones I've been doing lately, I think have been really, really powerful to the right audience. It'll help alter people's mindset to really start pushing them on a path of discovery and discover themselves. And I think just that in itself, I think, is healing. Oh, bottom of the deck. What we got? I see the bottom of the deck is usually current energy, but it could also be a summarizing of the energy, which I think is a summarizing, because I'm not wealthy yet. But we've got the next stage of the Seven of Pentacles, of course, is the Eight of Pentacles. So we're going to see the fruits of a labor soon, but it's spiritual leader. But then at the back of the deck, it's King of Pentacles. So that's really, really nice. That's a leader. That's a stable leader who's very successful, and that's what's coming. And that's because I listen to spirit. When they tell me to stop, I stop. Even if it destroys something I've got planned, it's like, okay. And it's not always to know the reason why. You can decide, you can figure it out, but like I said, it could be so many reasons. It may be that, what, like, I can't afford to lose another week or two doing stupid shit. I could be sitting around at my mum's home, and then you never know who visits. So maybe it's a case of you go there, do that. But like I said to her, maybe they're saving me from a road trip. Maybe there's something might happen on the road that day. So whatever the reason is, I'm just listening to the response, and it's like, stay home. Okay, I'm staying home. And that's how my life is. That's how I determine things sometimes. If I'm at a crossroads in my mind, I just get my tarot out, and I don't start. Oh, I don't like that one. Let's ask it again, because it just pisses them off. My guides don't play with me. I kid you not. They will not play with me. If I ask a question and then I ask it again, they may answer me again. If I ask them a third time the same question, I kid you not, nothing will come out that deck. They're as stubborn as I am. They will not answer me, and I'm like, well, sometimes it's like a vague response, and then the second reading is a vague response, and I'm like, can you please just make it clear? Like, I don't know, I can't. I need to know a definitive yes or no, and they still won't. There was one time I literally had to say please. I said please. I know it's annoying for me to ask again, but I don't understand the answer, and I just need to know clearly. And then a card come flying out, and I was like, oh, you people, man. But I get it, because I'm the same. I hate repeating myself. So that's the point: is don't piss your guides off. They're there to help and support you and guide you on this journey of life. And it's like, appreciate and respect them, and don't abuse them. And again, and it's always important to go with the flow, like I'm always saying. Don't do things for the wrong reasons, and don't misuse their guidance. Uh, yeah, we've got Four of Pentacles now, so that's just clinging on, holding on for dear life for what you've got, really. Not very relaxed. Weirdly enough, that's Pentacles, and then we've got the Knight of Pentacles. So yeah, still continuing to build upon creation. Am I tired? Absolutely. Oh, Queen of Cups this time. So we've got Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. It's interesting. So I just see that as emotionally grounded, very stable with myself. At peace. Peace with life. I actually do feel that way, weirdly enough. I've got a lot of chaos going on. There's always bills to pay, of course, and there's always I'm not sure if that was it now, because I went to shuffle. I feel quite peaceful in the chaos whenever there's chaos. I don't feel like there's like a lot of chaos around me, to be honest. Oh, look, I've got Queen of Pentacles again. Crazy. Um, yeah, I just know. I think the next few weeks are pivotal, and I think it's important I am placed. It's a bit like I said to my mum. If said person, in terms of romantic connection, reaches out to me, it would be nice to communicate with them without anyone around me, so we can actually talk. You know, I don't want to have to go. I'm gonna have to go in this. I just need to go and do this. You know, I just want to be. Give me space, man. Let me do this shit. Ten of Swords. There's a lot of stabs in the backs. A lot of betrayals. That's weird because I did say I'm exhausted. That's interesting. I am absolutely exhausted. Oh wow, the Emperor. So literally, lots of betrayals, and yet I am the Emperor. Betrayals because I am the Emperor. There's always going to be people jealous, of course, such as life. But the reality is, people can connect too. They can build their own life up. You know, it's like don't focus so much on the ones that have actually done the work. Do the work. Do the work. I speak a lot of this. I'm not jealous of anyone. I don't wish for anyone's downfall. Even someone that's done me wrong, I don't. Their life, there's no meaning to me. It's like just you do what you want. I'm just focused on my own journey. But the people that get jealous are focused so heavily on other people's journeys, and it's all because they don't want to put the effort in. It's that self-defeating shit where they just feel sorry for themselves. Who said anything in life's easy? I've talked about this as well all the time. Successful people have had to work their ass off to get there. And even if they got a handout and it was easy, they still have to work hard to maintain it. I don't think you can maintain anything in life without putting in some work. It doesn't make sense. Um, so anyway, hopefully that's gone some way to, I think, helping people really understand that the journey through life is not easy. But it's up to us what we make of it, you know? And I'm always being guided by spirit, by souls. I got King of Cups, but it come out upside down. I don't normally get reversals, but that come out upside down. And in the back of the deck, we've got freaking nightmares. Literally, that one's the shadow side. I'm not sure if that's Judgment and Tower. Shadow side might be the moon. See that as fears and illusions. Again, that's what I was talking about, actually, isn't it? Weirdly enough, I see the cards sometimes. I'm thinking, what's the message there? And it's not always relation to my life because I just said about like how people behave, and it's fears and illusions, isn't it? Instead of King of Cups, they're sort of self-defeating. They don't believe in themselves. They're not fulfilled. They have no achievement. And again, you've got all those illusions, nightmares. It's that self-defeating shit just makes you live in misery. It makes no point, no sense. No sense. Now we've got the Empress. I get the Empress a lot. The Hermit, hello. Very, very self-healing. Ah, for crying out loud. This is beautiful. So I've literally got the Empress, the Hermit, the Star. All of them are major arcana. So there's 20 major arcana cards, or is it 21? Because I think the 4 was one as well. So you've got the Empress, the Hermit, and the Star, and then we've got the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is walking away from what doesn't serve me. But you've literally Empress, the whole bleeding shebang, mate. The whole bleeding shebang. And there's a wild card here, because it's one I haven't turned over yet, so I'm intrigued by what that could be. Oh, wow. Chariot. Fast moving. Fast moving upgrades. Things are coming. And I think that's why I got to be here. That's why I'm here, baby. That's why I do this. I could go wild and start talking random nonsense, but there you go. Oh, the moon is the moon. So I'm not sure what the other one meant. It might be justice. No, not justice. It might be judgment, that other one. I don't know, because it's just got weird names for the cards. Yeah. This is interesting because they're actually beautiful cards, like really powerful cards. To have the Empress. In fact, the Chariot's major arcana as well, wasn't it? That was crazy. That's a lot of major arcana. That means there's big change coming, big revelation, big upgrade. Literally in the limelight, the spotlight. Because even the Hermit's got its own light. Even the Hermit's like guiding light to self. They're following their calling, healing. So the Chariot, which is fast moving, then we've got the Empress, which is literally very self-empowered and nurturing. Master of all, really, in terms of emotions and everything. So very grounded. The Hermit, healing. We've got the Star, and then we've got the walking away from things. But also the Moon is a bloody major arcana. But the Moon is, you don't see it coming. Of course, I see it because they're telling me with the cards, but I don't quite feel it's there yet, and I haven't seen it yet, so you get a bit disillusioned. That's interesting. Watch this space. Even I'll be surprised when my breakthrough comes because I've been waiting years for it, and I still think I'll be a bit of shock and go, "You for real?" Like for instance, I haven't been selling many books lately. It's getting actually frustrating, but I can't bother to keep promoting. I'm not a promoting sort of person, you know. I'd rather just heal and move on, teach, heal, teach, move on, move on. I'm just focused on the journey rather than um, promote. I mean, obviously, I've got the pictures here, and that's easier for me than keep talking about everything, you know. But weirdly enough, I've sold 2 audiobooks today, and they're both Australia. And I thought, well, that's interesting. So I'm guessing the same person bought both books, both audiobooks. That's nice. I like that. So sometimes I get frustrated, like you're not getting progress, but there's the little bits of progress, you know. Take the wins. Yeah, Free of Cups community being appreciated. And we got the Free of Wands, the 2 threes. Free. Free of Wands. Looking out to pastures new. That's nice. Again, stabbed in the back, betrayal. I think all that hurt just teaches you where you don't want to be. You know, I think I've had signs of this as well. It's like you've outgrown your environment. There's nothing more for you there, and I've been feeling that all year. To be honest, it's like I've outgrown this shit way long ago, and I think that's an important lesson for people too. Is that sometimes you're gonna have to stay there just a little bit longer. Frustrating as shit. Weirdly enough, we got the 10 of Cups. Literally, you're happy ever after, or your cups fulfilled. That's nice, and that's a completion of a cycle. You know, I'm exhausted, so just to understand how hard it is to get there. It is not an easy task. Or at least it hasn't been for me. But then I have a lot of freaking negative energy trying to block me, which it blocks. 9 of Wands, very passionate. Yeah, boy. Quite a long video, as I tend to do, because I tend to talk and talk and talk. But for the most part, it was really about the fact that Spirit was not forcing me, but encouraging me not to travel this weekend. Even though I had obligations, it was like no. And like I say, I listen all the time, so if they tell me something, I do not question anything. Temperance, healing, divine balance, divine order. Yeah, and I listen to them. Fast communication, and that's them reaching out to me quite quickly, and I listen. So they're here for our highest good. Hopefully, that's been of some substance, some help to people.